Myself and 49 other game devs were challenged to remake a game from Mario Party. The game needed to be at least local multiplayer and use original characters with no copyrighted material from Super Mario. Now, I didn't play much Mario Party, I didn't own it myself, and I'd occasionally play at other people's houses, so I wasn't sure what mini game to choose. I asked some friends what their favourite Mario Party game was, and one person said Bowl Over, and Bowl Over seemed pretty fun, so I went with it. Bowl Over is a game which is a play on bowling. Each player takes it in turns to knock down the pins, but there's a twist. The rest of the players control the pins and can move them around and hop, making it harder to knock them down. It's a very wacky game, and I found this gameplay mechanic quite amusing. There's just one issue though. Like many games in Mario Party, Bowl Over is a 3D game. I'm a 2D game dev, and the worst who won't want to do 3D. So, I ended up making a new game which is 2D but in principle does the same mechanic of Bowl Over, a bowling game with player controlled pins. I started by drawing out the game and making a prototype with simple shapes to try out the physics. In the 2D plane, it is pretty impossible to show the full perspective, so I kinda made the physics super crazy. The ball will move from side to side and an anti-gravity force is exerted when the mouse is pressed to give the effect of the ball rolling upwards. If the pins are collided with, they spin out. For moving the pins, I created a slot system, which is basically a system of fixed positions where pins can go. Each player is assigned a button on the keyboard, and if the button is pressed, their pin moves to a random slot. At first I thought of limiting the number of hops you can do, kinda like in the original Bowl Over, but I thought it would be more fun and chaotic to let you hop as many times as you want before the ball is actually released. I then started figuring out the art style for the game. I picked the flowers palette off Lost Spec and went with this cute pastel aesthetic. Think kawaii Japanese type arcade game or an aesthetic like Cooking Mama game. I came up with the idea of making each player a cute animal and making these animals into pins. I started by drawing a pink bear pin. Why does this look like my Aunt Summer's order? I also drew a puppy, a seal and a cat, and I imported them into the game. Also, I made a nice sprite for the bowling ball, and I did quite a few other things. I added score, a leaderboard which pops up when the game is over to show who won, and as it's a 4-player game, the best a player could do is knocking down 3 other pins. I know I should have added more bowling techniques, but I really wanted to keep things simple. I made the simplest bowling game possible and then worked on making it more pretty. I added a squishy text to indicate when the next turn was going to happen, and I had particles that flew out when a pin was hit. Also added some cool sprites and backgrounds. To fit in with this faux Japanese kawaii aesthetic, I needed a cute name. I came up with Super Happy Bowling Friends, short and sweet, and sounds like the title of a slice of life anime. I also needed a menu, and I went with a simple scrolling background and squishy title. And I added a quick screen that shows up, which shows you each player character and their key control. Finally, I needed some sound effects and music to finish the game. I used some of Kevin MacLeod's music, and I picked especially game show-like tunes. For sound effects, I went to freesound.org, and I found sound effects of bowling pins being knocked over, and the fanfare which plays when each round begins, as well as a simple clicking noise. And that was pretty much it. It's a simple remade game which encompasses the feel of Bowl Over, but has its own unique twists. The link to the game will be in the description of the video. That's it for this video. Many thanks to the Devlogs Club for hosting this challenge. It was really fun to take on and make a party game. Be sure to check out all the other devs who took part. They all did amazing stuff. Also remember to follow me on Twitter at FennecFu to stay up to date, and join the Discord where we all chat and help each other out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.